Okay, so what is it with men and not wanting to plan dates? Like, do you guys just not know how? Do you not want to? Like, are you just being lazy? Like, I just don't get it. Like, why is that? Why is that? Why are we doing that?
Let's say you're in a relationship and someone does something that's a non-negotiable. You don't need to sit there and convince them why they need to do this or control them. Instead, go simply, hey, look, I don't want to waste my time. I think you're a nice person. But look, if you do this and this and this, that's fine. But we will never be in a relationship. Is that fair? Are we clear? And if they don't want to do it, or if they're not open to changing and not doing the things that you're against as a person, then walk. So you know what? I wish you the best, and walk away. They will respect you.
Have you ever noticed in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a romantic partner, when you start setting boundaries and limiting the access they have to you, suddenly they change? I don't think people fully realize the impact of their actions until there's a consequence tied to that, and they possibly might lose you. And that right there should tell you exactly what you need to know, because people who truly love you and respect you are not going to wait until they lose access to you to change.
I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, right? You're saying that you guys work for that. That's in your job description, right? And many players out there, like how I used to be, and my job description was to get them draws, dog. Just like how you value.
Not get them draws. Even though I never seen that job on Indeed, but okay.
I'm saying, but
you ain't look like
you're not looking for.
I see, because right, I ain't
that
on
these
Indeed.
men are gullible, and you guys are playing into their imagination and make them feel like they're wanted. Yeah, I'm playing it. I'm playing with your mind too to get them. And that's what you gotta understand. So it can't be no love lost in the same way.
These modern women think that a man is supposed to want what she wants. I say the plan, I announce it, you're supposed to want it too, right? If your vision is different from mine, then you must not really even like me. You gotta be exactly like.
The moment you accept the idea that wanting consistency makes you difficult, that expecting him to show up makes you demanding, you have handed him permission to give you less, and he will take it every single time. Standards are not walls you build to keep men out. They are the floor you refuse to go below, and the right man will never ask you to lower it. There are men who walk into relationships expecting to be taken care of like kings while offering nothing worthy of that title. They want admiration, loyalty, attention, and patience without providing stability or leadership in return. And when they fail, they blame everything except themselves. They blame timing, they blame stress, they blame their past, but accountability never shows up.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
So what does a masculine man actually want? Let's clear this up really quick. Masculine men aren't looking for a clone in heels. They don't want to compete with you. They want to complement you. What draws a masculine man isn't just looks, it's energy. He's drawn to a woman who's soft but not weak, warm but not desperate, grounded but still playful. He wants feminine peace, not feminine panic. A woman who respects him, admires him, and doesn't try to outlead him. And here's the secret. When he feels trusted, he shows up stronger. When he feels admired, he leads better. When he feels respected by you, he wants to give you the world. Masculine men crave what the world can't give them. Not another challenge, but a haven. Be peace, not pressure. Be soft, not silent. And watch how he rises to meet you.
And you sit up here and listen to these modern women talk about how they can't find a good man. Up to a singles event, can't seem to find a man. It's just a figment of my imagination. It's like Sasquatch. It's like Bigfoot. He doesn't exist. There are sightings, but the Loch Ness Monster. That's exactly what he is. I cannot find him. But then y'all go out here and disrespect the man, talk trash about the man, and then y'all get confused. Well, he's not showing up to singles event. He's not showing up to singles event. I can't really find a man to talk to me in the gym. Man, I go to the church, man. I go to the grocery store. I'm up here at the gas station at 6 a.m. creeping on men. I'm at Home Depot peeking around the corner creeping on men. Can't find anybody. It's not a mystery. It's just that you run your mouth too much. Now, men don't.
He's not confused. My pastor just said something every woman needs to hear. Lean in. He said, I knew she was my wife before she was even my girlfriend. He set the captives free with that one because men are not naturally confused. They have clarity. Spiritually, God gave man the ability to name a thing just like Adam. He knew exactly what it was the moment he saw it. Here's the truth. A man has already named you long before he ever tells you. Wife, temporary, placeholder. And here's the number one reason women get hurt. You're giving your all to a man who's already named you, and it wasn't wife. That's why he can date a woman for years with no commitment and marry the next one in 6 months. He was never confused. He had already named you. Save yourself the stress, the drama, the wasted years. When he gives you placeholder effort, believe him. He's telling you the name he gave you. Sis, God assigned you the role of wife. Anything less is a downgrade, and I want better for you than that. For more free tips, check out my free guide, The 10 Blind Spots Successful Women Have in Love.
Yo, real interest is not confusing. Like, there's nothing puzzling about it. Like, if you're dealing with a man and y'all been rocking for an extended period of time, and you still got to ask yourself, man, like, what are we doing? Like, what are we? Like, is this something serious? Is this, like, if it's a bunch of question marks in your head after you've been dealing with a man for an extended period of time, that's your answer. He wants nothing long term with you. Because when a man is interested in you, like, he's going to make it known that he's interested. He's going to implement boundaries. He's going to start talking in terms of we and us. He's going to start moving like he's headed towards something long term and something that's inclusive when it comes to you. But if you still bringing up the subject of a relationship and he get distant or he get shady or he get, a bit unclear, that's your answer right there.
Modern women have this thing to where they're expecting you to do it like they want you to do it, exactly how they want you to do it. It's almost like a performance review. You know what I mean? A performance review. So, and I understand, you have to talk to people and communicate with them. I get it. I understand it. I'm all for it. But modern women, the way they be treating you, it's almost like they think that they're your supervisor. Like they own you. Like you're the employee, they're the boss. That's the way they treat you. Like you don't know anything. You don't know what you're doing. Anything that might be coming out of your mouth hasn't been well thought out, hasn't been planned out. You're an idiot. You're a psychopath. You're aloof. You're obtuse. All of that.
If he leads properly, I will submit naturally. I will submit naturally.
If you want to spend your life with me, there is 4 things you need to know about me. 1, I don't love in half measure, and I will not date just for pleasure. 2, I am who I say I am, regardless of the noise. And I love who I am, so I refuse to lose my voice. 3, I'm gonna hold your hand and hug you where everybody can see. And if I can't, I'm somewhere where I'm not supposed to be. And 4, not perfect, and I'll probably make you cry, but you will never doubt that I love you long after.
A lot of these modern women, they'll sit up here and watch a man do the things that he's supposed to be doing, act like he's supposed to be acting, and take it for granted. Fumble them, straight up. Just fumbled. They try to make it seem like he's the problem. He's the one doing things that he, he did this, or he was this, and this. No, you're the problem. You have the issue, and it's time for you to start taking accountability for you fumbling a good man. Plain and simple, man. I did this. I talked to him this way. I was acting silly. I had a bad attitude. I wouldn't dress appropriately. I was posting pictures I probably shouldn't have posted. And he got tired of it. He told me this multiple times. He reasoned with me. He sat down and explained things to me. And yet and still continued to do what I wanted to do. And so he left. We couldn't come to agreement, which really means I couldn't stop doing silly stuff.
Girls think that they want to date a high value man until he starts calling you out for not taking responsibility, before he starts holding you accountable, before he has higher standards for you than you have for yourself. Everyone talks about, oh, date a high value man. It's so, this is what you do to have to attract a high value man. But I've never heard anyone talk about like actually dating a high value man takes a totally different kind of woman. Is not for the weak. I have other friends who are dating like very loving, very successful, perfectionist, ambitious men, and it is not for the weak.
They normally do. Except this time when you get home, dinner is made. The bed that you left unmade that morning when you left for work is now perfectly made and the room is perfectly organized. There's a hot meal for you waiting at home. Your home, your apartment, or your house has been cleaned spotlessly. Also, all those little things that you couldn't remember to do or just couldn't be bothered to do because you were too tired or you just didn't feel like it, they've been done for you now, so you don't have to worry about them anymore.
I mean, you want to trade places? You could work full time, worry about all of the bills, potentially maintenance around the house, potentially yard work, and then he can do those things for you. And also, I feel like a lot of women that make videos like this give themselves a little bit too much credit because a lot of men don't experience this completely. She might not be super consistent about cooking dinner. The house may not be perfectly cleaned all the time. It might be cluttered. It might be messy. She may also forget to do certain things. I feel like when we talk about topics like this, we assume that the woman in the situation is perfect and she gets everything done all the time. Now, I'm not saying there's not valid reasons to not get that stuff done. I mean, if you have kids especially. But it's like we hold men to these unrealistic standards where if he needs you to also work or he needs help once in a while with the yard work or whatever it is, he's heavily shamed for it. And for a lot of men, the jobs they work are significantly harder than doing the housework. Yes, the housework is repetitive and boring and constant, but working like a blue-collar job for 8 hours, 10 hours in the sun, or in an uncomfortable environment in general, I mean, you can't really compare to that. So that's why it's so important to appreciate what your man does for you and stop acting like you're the prize and you're the only person bringing value into the relationship, because both people can bring value in different ways.
I think it's funny because modern women, they want a man to lead, but then they don't want him to lead. Like they want him to provide, but don't be the sole provider. You know what I mean? Like it gets real confusing because you're never really ever sure exactly what they want. And so if men have to like continue to like try to guess what you want, how is that appealing? You could be out here giving somebody your money and they'd be like, so what is it that you actually want? I would love to do business with you, but what is it that you're actually looking for? And I think that's what most men struggle with. They don't actually know what a woman wants. These modern women. It used to be that you can get a read on what they're looking for, but nowadays it's a little bit more difficult.
I witnessed this girl earlier this week approach a man with the most confidence I have ever seen. She went up to him and she said, "Hey, I need to know your name, and I think that you think you need to know my name too." They hit it off, they exchanged numbers. It worked beautifully, and I was honestly like, that's confidence goals right there. And I'm just gonna like put that little pickup line in my back pocket for later.
I always say a woman's success rate with approaching a man, as long as he's single, 99%. She is going to get his name and number. But a man's experience is very different. He, unfortunately, will be rejected most of the time. And on top of that, unfortunately, rejection nowadays can be somewhat brutal, especially if she ends up labeling him a creep. So think about it. If a woman is the deciding factor on a successful approach, why don't women do it more? And look, even if it doesn't result in them being together and dating, that man is going to remember her forever. And it is going to be a story that man is telling for the rest of his life. Trust me.
I think we have to start realizing that, when we talk about dating events and singles, mixers and stuff like that, and men ain't showing up, maybe that's a sign. If you promote, and all of the women show up, but all of the men decide not to, for whatever reason, why is nobody stepping back to ask, now why aren't the men coming? Why aren't the men here? Man, We tried to do pickleball, they didn't come. We tried to do basketball, they didn't come. They'll come for football though. It looks like they didn't come for football. Maybe we need to start reaching out and asking, why aren't you guys coming? I mean, we had a night where we watched the football game and we had wings. We did the fight night. We did baseball. I mean, why are you guys not coming out? We're trying to do things that cater to you. And they'll tell you. And whenever they tell you, listen. Matter of fact, you don't even have to ask. You can just go in a comment section and see what men are upset about and what they're worried about, what they're concerned about. But do you think that people listen to men and what they be talking about? No.
You know the reason why most men don't ask any questions to women while they are on a date? Is because most of the men, they were taught on how to convince a woman to give them what he wants, rather than actually how to be curious about them. Because a man will know from the get-go what he wants from you. And since most of the men don't have any personality, they will just brag about their achievements. He will say stuff like, oh, you know, I achieved this, or I achieved that. And the reason why he does it is because sharing his achievements is like foreplay. He thinks that you will get impressed, and thus you will be convinced to give him what he wants. And let's, to be honest, not even his fault, because he was genuinely not taught on how to be curious about women. He was taught the wrong thing. That is how to convince them. Now, this is just my observation. I don't know if this is universal or not. So, what do you think? Let me know what you think.
Many men do not leave a relationship because they stop loving. They leave when they stop feeling respected and valued. When a man begins to feel disrespected again and again, something inside him slowly starts to change. Respect matters more than people often realize. It is one of the strongest foundations in any relationship. A man can handle pressure in life. He can deal with stress and difficult days without complaining. But constant disrespect slowly damages the connection between two people over time. It rarely breaks the relationship all at once. Most of the time, it happens quietly, little by little. That is why love alone is never enough to keep a relationship strong. Love needs something deeper to survive through challenges and difficult moments. It needs respect, understanding, and effort from both people in the relationship. Strong couples understand this truth and protect the peace between them. They choose communication and patience instead of letting ego control the relationship. Because real strength and love comes from protecting the bond you share. And when respect remains strong, the relationship has a much better chance to last.
And I think another thing that, kind of confuses men is that a lot of these modern women have a whole checklist of the things that they need you to do. They have a whole checklist of the things that they want you to do. And then when you meet those things, or you're pretty well through that list, like you're checking maybe not every box because nobody's perfect, but a good majority of the boxes. She'll say something like, well, I mean, sometimes she don't even say anything. She just acts disappointed, like, okay, is that it? What else do you have? Like, I expect more out of my man. You know what I mean? And then when he asks, she's like, oh yeah, you're doing great, but I know my friends would do, or my dad would do, or my grandpa, or I heard stories and tales of my great-great-grandpa, who I never even knew, doing this for my great-great-great-grandmother. So I need you to treat me like that. That's a myth. He never did that. If you go back to her and you ask her actually you can't ask her, because she passed away. Your mother's lying to you. That's a myth.
We stop taking what the opposite does person. The biggest benefit is what we stop taking personal. And the hurt and the anger that follows the hurt and the discouragement that follows and the powerlessness and the despair and everything that follows from, you only could have done that if you didn't love me, or I would never do that to somebody I cared about, so you must care about me. Can I give you a specific example? Sure. So a man is talking. He's talking to someone who's important to him, and he's talking about something that's important to him. Now let's say the water starts boiling for the tea goes, and she walks away and addresses the teapot. Or a child comes up. Mommy, yes? But I'm talking, right? And how it occurs, it took me a long time to learn this, how it occurs to most men is that she chose that by her action she was saying the teapot was more important than me, the child is more important than me, the phone ringing is more important than me, the texts are more important than me, not knowing that how estrogen creates diffuse awareness. So we're not sorting by importance. We're sorting by loud. What's the most immediate, loudest thing? And so the teapot's more urgent than what you're saying, and the child's need is more urgent than what you're saying. But none of those are more important. But because this thing called a priority, you prioritize, and you prioritize by importance and urgency. So assuming that women do that too, but not knowing that we live in a completely different environment than you do because of the effects of estrogen on the brain. And you might get a kick out of this, Andrew. They did a study where a bunch of men agreed to take very high doses of estrogen. I think it was by the third day of the study they had all opted out. The men could not, the input, the lack of screening that comes with testosterone and single focus, that they're overwhelmed by what was coming. Get me off this. As a woman, that's normal until you get to about my age. Well, or a little younger. But when I started, all the hormones are winding down, which happens by about 35 years old. Is when it's significant change in you on that.
Let me tell you something. You modern women got a man showing up for you for years, doing your bidding, fighting off these other men that be dogging you out, simping for you, ungrateful, pretty much buy you anything that you want as long as he can afford it, and it ain't gonna put him out. That ain't the man that you want. Show up for you, be on the phone with you, gotta go to work early in the morning, gotta get up and go to the gym, need to be grocery shopping, on the phone with you. Had a business meeting, because some of these men are missing business opportunities. And you might sit up here and say, oh man, he an idiot for that. Maybe so. But he's trying to invest in you. And this is what men are trying not to do. See, I have this opportunity, but I'm trying to give you my time. And when y'all continue to waste a man's time, he says, you know what? I'm not missing no more opportunity. Well, you shouldn't in the first place. Exactly. But I did it because I thought you was going to be a good investment. And now that I know for sure, with 100% certainty, that you as a modern woman are not going to be a good investment, I'm going to be taking the business meeting every single.
We're like given the magic wand and told to solve this problem, I would start with young men and like making them feel empowered to ask for a date, to go on a date, to be assertive, to like put themselves out there, to not worry about Me Too or toxic masculinity. I would start there, but you're much closer to it than I am. So you tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You hit the nail on the head there. I was going to bring it up. Me Too has very much disenfranchised young men among like many other movements, feminism being one of them. I mean, we've completely rejected young men, masculinity, what they actually want to live for, what brings them purpose and makes them a benefit to, you know, women, but also just society as a whole. We've completely rejected that. So I think that in disenfranchising men, we've also disenfranchised women. I mean, we've seen men become more feminine and we've seen women become more masculine.
Well, they're going to need some magic to be able to fix this at this particular point. The damage is done. I wrote about this in my book, De-Evolution. We cannot go back. We can only go forward. So what they would have to do is take about 2 generations to correct it. And you would have to stop all of the BS that exists today in order to go forward. And in 2 generations, you correct it. Otherwise, that ship is sailed. Damage is done.
And modern women expect you to commit to them, right? Modern women really, honestly, they want control over commitment is really what they want. They want control over your access to them, and they want control over their commitment. So they want all of the cards, which is, oh, I'm strong and independent. I don't need no man. And this and that. I can choose this man. I got this man on my roster. He does this. I got this man that does that. And I can choose any one of them whenever I would like to. Right. You can do all of that and have a fantastic life. People doing things for you. I don't know what they got going on. That might be an arrangement that you guys enjoy in some instances for a number of years. But then you, at one point in time, and this is where you get into trouble. At one point in time, you want them, at some point in time, you want a man, even if it's not that man, you want a man to commit to you, right? Unfortunately for you, that man has been seeing you act a fool out there. And now you're wondering why this man won't commit to you, why this man won't propose to you, why this man won't marry you. I've been seeing you act a fool. And a lot of men see that. They see you out here playing the field, roaming around, and then saying, I'm going to continue to roam around. You're not even doing it in private, right? They see all the stuff you're doing and they say, I don't think so. I don't want to marry a woman like that. If she's going to be out here messing with this guy and that guy, it's not the type of woman that I want. You got women out here trying to take a man for all of his money. I don't want that. That's not something that I'm looking for. You're not doing anything to beat the alligator.
If a man stops arguing, pay close attention. If a man stops arguing or stops trying to explain his side of the story, make no mistake, that is not submission. That is not him finally agreeing with you. Is a man who has decided you are no longer worth the energy of a conflict. He didn't start out cold. He used to be the one trying to fix every crack in the foundation. He communicated until he was shattered. He bought the lie that if he just explained it clearly enough, eventually he would be understood. But he learned.
The masculinity crisis isn't about men becoming soft. It's about men who were never taught to grieve, now being expected to be emotionally available. For generations, men were handed a simple deal. Suppress your feelings, become useful, your worth is tied to your output. And that worked in a world that needed soldiers and providers, but that world is gone. Now the same men are being asked to be present, to be vulnerable, to be emotionally intelligent, capacities that they were actively punished for as boys. And here's what nobody names. The gap there isn't laziness, it's grief. Grief for the version of masculinity that no longer works. Grief for the fathers who couldn't show them another way. Grief for the decades of performing strength instead of actually building it. Unprocessed grief shows up as anger, as numbness, as the man who checks out when somebody needs him the most. Most men are not avoiding emotions, they're drowning in emotions that they were never given the tools to metabolize. And so the work is not becoming less masculine. It's grieving the old version so that something more authentic, more powerful, and more true can emerge.
I was just saying that you can't say men are hurting women when they're leading them on. It's a scene.
I'm still gonna go with different only because
it is indifferent
9 times out of 10 when a leading the on, y'all playing with feelings. Like, y'all doing a lot of OD.
Why you just say
y'all be OD. I don't care.
In the strip club fall in love with strippers because she played with his feelings.
You went to the strip club to see a bunch of naked bitches. You ain't even know what was about to fall in love with that night.
Other bitches
You didn't even know which bitch was about to fall in love with.
I'm only here for Monique.
That do happen.
Monique. I pity a lot of young men today, and I must say this. Some of the things that the young ladies are asking for now in dating, it's only sugar daddies that can give them those things. It's not young men that can give them. So the expectation is very high. And I'm saying, I'm not sure how successful this relationship will be if they get married, because they've come in with so much high expectation and the kind of demands that they are making. Oh, I want to go on vacation and then I must fly business class. Your father never went on vacation. Your dad, you know. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying, okay, where did you get that from? Who introduced you to it? This is the question. Who introduced you to business class? Because if you demand for cookie, it's because you are used to eating cookie. Then you are now demanding that, okay, we are going to so and so, maybe our friend is getting married, and then we are going for the wedding, and then you expect the man that you are dating to buy the ticket, and you are looking at a business class, and the question I'm asking is that who introduced you to business class? So how did you get to that? Do you know how much this guy earns? We have to be very careful, because once you get this, you bring it into the marriage, then you are going to be having expectation failure.
In case you couldn't tell that this man isn't a provider from the fact that he's a stay-at-home dad and doesn't work, his statement is enough to tip you off. When a father is working for his family, I'm sorry, do you think that it takes the same amount of time to build 2 retirement funds? What about college funds for the kids? What about all the extracurricular activities that he would not have to do otherwise? Yeah, I'm just a little bit curious if you think that that takes the exact same amount of time and energy and money, but I shouldn't be confused because this man hasn't provided a day in his life and has no idea what it's like.
To all the act like y'all so confused in the comment section, yo ho running laps around you, fast as she can. She got a for everything you don't do. That really make me sick acting stupid. What else you think she finna do with that tablet? Talk to her other dummies? Some of y'all be deserving it that be happening to y'all because y'all be too stupid. Like, y'all be too stupid. And for the that keep playing these dirty games, when that catch up with you and he swanton bomb yo, oh well. Don't call nobody, deal with it.
Give me the top 5 signs a man is done in a relationship. He's still there, but what are the 5 signs a female can see? Like, your man's really, he's done with you. He's still in the relationship though.
Probably like interest.
He's not showing interest.
Probably him just liking hella photos.
Liking other girls?
Like, you just see him all the same with, I would say, following new girls too, because it's like scoping out the new, being disrespectful to you. Probably like a lack of.
Yeah, fucking clapping.
That's probably the most important one. When I said lack of interest, I meant more like taking you on dates, buying you flowers, like just showing, like, you know what I'm saying?
Extra miles. Like, I thought you meant like no pipe. What you got?
No pipe though.
So many black women that want to be in relationships with a certain type of guy, and there's just not an equal amount of that man, right? So if there's black women that are like, I don't care, he has to make a certain amount of money, you must open up your pool to non-black men, because that's the only way you're going to have more options of meeting a guy in that caliber.
Black men are still marrying black women more than any other race. They're not interested. I'm not talking about dating, I'm talking about marrying, okay? You can't tell the girls, oh, they don't want you over here, so you going over there. That's not how that works. Brad and Chad are not coming to go get Lakeisha. They not. Black men are not just leaving black women. Why can't you just say to yourself, maybe it's you?
You're a grown-up
okay, let's just say 30 and up, you should know that you don't wait 2 to 3 years for someone to propose to you in a committed relationship. If we are boyfriend and girlfriend, then it needs to be going towards marriage. Otherwise, what are we doing? And that really is the question. What are we doing? So if you're dating someone, it's official, right about 6 months in, if they haven't been talking about marriage, you need to start talking about marriage. I would say three months in to a committed relationship when you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s and up. Because if this is not going to marriage, it's not going anywhere. Because we're not having sex, we're not moving in and shacking up together, so we have nowhere to go. It's a pointless relationship, isn't it?
You said men signed up to take estrogen and they all quit within 3 days because they felt crazy from all the input from the environment.
Because of testosterone in a committed state of mind, once a man commits, it screens out everything considered irrelevant. This is single focus. This is what testosterone does to the brain, creates a committed state of mind. If you think about a hunter, there's a deer. Deer. He doesn't go, is there a better deer behind it? So if you want to hide food from men, you just put it in like the second or third row. They're just going to look at what's in the front row. This is what's in the refrigerator, everything that's in the front row. Single focus. And it drives us. We'll roll our eyes and tisk and mumble and he's just focused, getting it done. He doesn't even hear it. But we think he did hear it and he's ignoring me. Yes.
Which then
because he disrespects me. Yes. And now we're really pissed. This is why we have to roll it all back. What if we're just different?
Man, at the end of the day, bro, if she not gonna with you, bro, you gotta put it that's with you at the end of the day. You forcing conversation, trying to force link-ups, trying to force dating and all that's doing is making her not like you, bro. Okay? The quicker you move on to the next woman and that woman appreciates you and loves you and wants with you, then the other woman is going to see that and she's going to try to come back and appreciate you and try to with you and love you. But then it's late for the now. You know what I'm saying? You have to continue working on yourself, continue bettering yourself, and continue not giving a about what thinks about you. Trust me, you'll never succeed in your life, in your dating life, in your career, if you care about what the others' opinions of you matter. I'm telling you, bro, it don't matter. Okay? The more you don't give a the more you're gonna win in this thing called life, bro. Trust me. If you want to become code and work with me one-on-one, man, comment the word below code, and I'll send you the link to the DM. Let's get it.
This is my advice for women who are looking for their partner who are very ambitious and career driven. If the most interesting thing about you is what you do for work or how much you've accomplished at your age, it's going to be very difficult for you to find someone that meets your standards. I encourage you to think about who you are at a deeper level outside of work in your career. Are you interesting? Do you have hobbies? Are you fun to hang around? Are you constantly stressed and dragging down the mood? Be an interesting person, live a full, juicy, rich life, and that is going to help attract more interesting people around you and also give you a deeper connection. A lot of men are not looking for a trophy wife that has all these degrees and all these things. What they're looking for is someone who brings them peace, someone who inspires them to achieve more, someone who inspires them to take care of them. That is what they're looking for, not your job title.
Masculine men do not want masculine women. I've noticed that a lot of feminist type women who are loud, who are boss babes, will complain that there are just no good men out there. I'll hear them say that men are just intimidated by them, that they're afraid of their energy and stuff. That's not true. The truth is they just don't like them. I know this is gonna ruffle some feathers, but it is just reality. If you want to find a good man, you have to let yourself be a feminine woman. Men do not care how much money you make. They're not impressed by your degrees or what job you have. Modern feminists and just our current society send women messages from the time we're little girls that in order to have a happy, successful life, you need to basically become a man. You need to have all their traits. You need to be a leader. You need to be loud. You need to be strong. In reality, women competing with men just leaves us feeling icky and alone and bitter. Females are designed to be feminine. We are designed to receive. We are designed to be taken care of. And that's not a bad thing. It's so freeing to let go of society's rules of what you should be doing and just embrace your femininity. Let yourself be soft. Let yourself be graceful. Let yourself receive things from men. Let yourself be taken care of. It's amazing. And when you're able to really do that, the good men, the masculine men, the men that you want will be drawn to you. You won't even have to chase them.
If you get into a rebound relationship or hook up with strangers after a committed relationship, you are weak. And I know this is going to piss some of you off, but if that last relationship meant anything to you, you would not be doing what you're doing now. You are choosing not to heal, you're choosing not to learn your lessons, and you're choosing quick and easy comfort. It does not matter what your situation was. It does not matter how bad that person treated you. You are choosing not to heal. And if you get out of a committed relationship, you need time to process. You need to process your traumas. And if you are unable to do that, it means you are unable to sit with yourself. You cannot stand being in your own presence. So you're going to go run to someone else to try to fill that void. What you need to be doing is putting yourself in a season of solitude and singleness. That does not mean going and hooking up with people and acting single. That could mean journaling, meditation, traveling, working out, and etc. Because if you don't process that last relationship, you're going to bring every single problem into the next. Insanity is the definition of doing something over and over again, expecting different results. So take the time to process, take the time to actually heal, because if you don't, you're only hurting yourself.
How is it that I look like this today, yet no man wants me to be his girlfriend?
Is this a serious question? Because women just went from saying they rather pick a bear over a man. So why would men approach you or even look in your direction? But not only that, so many women have taught men over the years that all men are real, so the good men of the world gave up. And it's so funny because women will constantly say that men don't listen, but now that men are listening, y'all are wondering where the good guys are at, why they don't approach you anymore, and why men are just simply not interested. And why would they be interested? They don't know if they're going to be the next subject of all men are trash content on social media. They don't know if they're going to be accused of doing something they didn't do. They don't know if they're going to be used for dates. They don't know if they're going to be manipulated and then called a narcissist. And in this particular video, she's also asking why didn't they approach her because she looks the way that she looks. But the bottom line is most women are basic. There's nothing special to them. We all look the freaking same. So yeah, you actually have to come with more than just your looks. You actually need a personality nowadays too. Okay, bye.
When I was 21, I was in a relationship with a doctor, and he taught me some very important things about relationships with men with money. And I want to share that with you because I wish somebody would have told me when I was 21. Date for character. Don't date for money. And I say that because just because a man has money does not mean that he's not toxic. Doesn't mean that he's going to be a good husband while you're pregnant. Doesn't mean he's going to be a good father. Doesn't mean that he won't cuss you out. It doesn't mean that he's going to be faithful. It doesn't mean that he's going to be honest. And it just doesn't mean that he's going to treat you right just because he has money. And I just see so many girls online who have it all wrong. On the top of their list is, oh, he's a provider, or he must be rich, and things like that. It's just like, date a man who is compassionate, who is kind, who is loving, who is generous, has all these other traits that are super important to having a healthy relationship. And I'm just glad I had that experience while I was young, because now when I'm talking to men with money, their money doesn't impress me whatsoever. The dinners don't impress me. Where they've traveled to doesn't impress me. Their car doesn't impress me, because I know it doesn't really mean anything as far as how you're going to show up for me as a partner. And I just wish more women could understand that so they don't have to learn the lesson the hard way.
Right. 82% of women report experiencing creepy behavior, sometimes, often, or always by men. So you have guys not approaching women for fear of making them uncomfortable, for fear of being a part of some news story. Women also being made to feel uncomfortable, at least sometimes during their life. But 86% of women say that they want a man to make the first move.
As a full-time dating consultant for men, I hear every single day that men are scared to make women feel uncomfortable. Listen, men, I hear you, but here's the problem. I don't believe you. I don't think the reason why you're not approaching women is because you're scared for their safety. You're just scared to make the first move because you're scared of rejection. Because let's think about it. If you approached a girl in the gym, in a public place with men all around, how unsafe is she really? You're at a bar with a bunch of people, maybe even shoulder to shoulder. Does she really feel that unsafe by you saying, hey, you're cute? Probably not. I'll be honest. Dating favors the bold. If you're a guy that's not willing to be bold, your dating life will always suck. You will always walk by women you're attracted to because you don't have the balls to say, hey, excuse me, what's your name? That's all you have to do. It is that simple. You don't need Riz. You don't need to be a pickup artist. If you can say, excuse me, what is your name? And do it often, look how much further you are than most men. Most men can't even do that. In conclusion, guys, it's probably not about women's safety that you're so scared about. You're scared about your own ego getting shot down and rejected. Once you can deal with that, you're on the right track. If you're a guy watching this who has a hard time approaching women, you're not getting matches on dating apps, I personally want to help you. There's a video in my bio. Give it a watch, and I'll talk to you soon.
And a lot of these modern women, after they get tired of being strong and independent, they want to get mad at a man because he don't step in and he don't drag her by her neck to do the things that she once didn't want to do. I'm sorry. You told me that you didn't want that to happen. Well, stay out of my way. I ain't never gonna let a man tell me what to do. But now that you're tired of carrying a load, you just want that man. See, what they think men are doing is they think that think about it like the NFL, right? Where very few people get a chance. And so if one go, like you just got one waiting for that man to go down. I'm just waiting for my chance. That man don't even got to go down. Just switch me in. Just give me a chance. You go out there, you get burnt. Coach sit you down. Okay, coach, I'm ready to go. I'm really ready. Not even the next game. You ready to go in the next drive. After you got burnt. Coach, that was my first time in. Put me back out there again. They think that men are that desperate to date them. That's why they think, oh man, I can always get a man like that. No. How many times, let me say this, how many times do you see an all-star? Because that's what y'all are looking for. How many times do y'all see an all-star begging to get back out there? Nope. He's not going to do it. He will go to another team. Because I have that cachet. I can do that. Oh, you don't want to play me? Oh, you want to sit me down? You don't have but a hand, and you might call it a diva, and I can't argue with you. But you ain't got but a handful of times to do that. In the middle of the season, I'm requesting a trade. Kevin Durant requested a trade. Hey, all-star athlete requested a trade, and it's gonna be granted. It's gonna be granted. So y'all thinking that y'all gonna have this bench of all-stars that when one go down, the next one up.